Hello, this is Hui. Welcome to watch my video C++ programming on Linux. In previous video, we have introduced a new library, Libfuse, a file system in user space. There are two Libfuse libraries installed on our Ubuntu Linux. Libfuse 3.10.5 and Libfuse 2.9.9. On Ubuntu and Debian Linux, Libfuse installed through apt repository is not the latest version. The latest version of Libfuse is 3.16.2. There's an instruction of how to download and install this latest version. Even installing through apt-get repository is not the latest version, but the advantage is it is Ubuntu and Debian OS approved and all validated version. It may cause issue in real project if you install the latest version on the environment and they need a proof of concept. Here is the specification or note for Libfuse 2.9.9. This is the maintenance release from the 2.9 branch of Libfuse. Users are encouraged to transition to the actively developed using Libfuse 3.x version. Libfuse 2.9.9 is the maintenance version from Libfuse webpage. We encourage users using Libfuse 3.x version, and from the competitive point of view, there are big difference between the version 2.x and the version 3.x. For Libfuse 2.99, the header file located under. Here is the header file for the Libfuse 2.99 and this is the header file for Libfuse 3.10.5. If we make a compare, even both versions of library using the same name of header file, fuse.h, so you can see there's a lot of difference between two versions. In previous video, we have wrote our demo Libfuse example using Libfuse 2.9.9. So this is our demo API, the version which is 2.9.9. In this short video, we are going to migrate this example to using Libfuse 3.10.5. We create a program called myfu3.cpp and we import from the previous video's example. In order to migrate from version 2.9.9 to the 3.10.5, first we have to include the version 3 header file, which is under fuse 3. So we have to change the header file. And after we change the header file, you can see our simple operation get attr and init not working anymore. Let's check our header file. Here's the library for the function get attr. So we copy this line. We go back to our program. We paste here. So you can see with the new library get attr operation have 3 parameters. Instead for version 2.9.9, they only have 2 parameters. So we have to change this. With 3 parameters, the new parameters called fuse file information Since we don't know how to use this right now, so we can just make it as wide pointer. Second is init operation. We copy these two lines to paste here to make a comparison. You can see init operation for the new version .3.10.5. They have one more parameter compared to previous version. So we make this adjustment. And since this pointer we don't know how to use right now, so we just after we make this adjustment, the error of this operation is gone. So now we save our program. We compile our program. So our program has compiled. This is our executable. So this is the help information, and you can see now our program using the library version 3.10.5. Since our demo example is very simple and we only have two operations, just hard-coded assigned using simple logic. In real project, file system API usually very complicated, so migration might be very complicated too. So it's a very difficult decision to rewrite a new or update from the old program. File system in user space. Fuse is a software interface for Unix and Unix-like computer operating system that let no-privileged users create their own file system without editing kernel code. This is achieved by running the system code in user space, while the Fuse module provides only the bridge to the actual kernel interface. Fuse is available for Linux, FreeBSD, OpenBSD, and many other systems. In the history, the Fuse system was originally part of AVFS, a virtual file system. Libfuse operation and usage. Fuse is particularly useful for writing a virtual file system. Here is a typical usage application for Libfuse is on-disk file system, layer file system, archiving and backup file system, remote distributed file system client. In general, file system API is really complicated. In our demo, we just simplify to the basic concept. And here in this web page, you can find a few examples of how to use Libfuse to write an API. This one is for cloud storage. This one is for distributed file system, providing data orchestration and caching for cloud storage. This one provides a powerful way to mount your HTTPS files, and there's many other uses. This is a good place for get an idea how to use Libfuse to write a file system API. Hello, this is Hui. Thanks for watching my video. Wish it is useful, and it's going to be great to have your feedback.